As a long-time sewer and also someone trying to reduce my environmental impact, I'm always looking for ways to find amazing fabric that otherwise may be destined for landfill or to be made into rags. Hi, I'm Bex. I run sewing classes, clothing sustainability and clothes upcycling workshops here in Sydney. Today I'm continuing my clothing sustainability series and I'm going to talk about where to find very cheap, even free, amazing fabric for your next sewing project. So let's get started and let's keep great garments and great fabric out of landfill. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is quilt covers or duvet covers, depending on where you are in the world. I picked up these two. They're both beautiful cotton fabric. I got them both from a local charity shop. So the first one is, I think this is a single, but what I love about quilt covers when it comes to fabric is that often you get two different types of fabric on either side. So the one side has this lovely stripe, blue and white stripe. The other side has kind of like this patchwork design. So whether you use both designs, sometimes they complement each other, sometimes they contrast. Whether you use both sides in your project, it can lend itself to something quite unusual and funky, or whether you use one side for one project and another side for another project. I'm not sure what I'm going to make with either of these. I'm going to do one project as part of this video, but I'm going to let inspiration take me when I sit down at the sewing machine. So stay tuned and I'll be back with the results. Before we move on to the next project, if you enjoy videos like this and want more practical tips on altering and upcycling clothes, consider subscribing so my next video shows up automatically in your feed. This is what I made with one side of the cotton sheet. It's a wrap dress, and I just made my own pattern from this dress, which I've had for a long time. Interestingly, there's not many pieces to this dress, so it was quite easy to make this pattern from that dress. And now I have that forever, so I can keep replicating that. This is a beautiful 100% cotton. I didn't realize at the time, but it was a Sheridan kids range. The quality was spectacular. So it was beautiful to sew, easy to sew. On the reverse side, I actually made some pajamas or a co-ord set, where I'll show you that in a moment. The dimensions of this single quilt cover were about 140 centimeters wide by 210 centimeters long. If I were to buy that fabric, here in Australia, cotton, good quality cotton fabric is about $12 a meter. That would have cost me about $50. I think I picked it up for maybe $5. So enormous saving. And I've got a beautiful quality cotton that will last really well and it will wear really well, nice to wear, no polyester in it, so it doesn't make you hot and sweat. It could not have been better value for money. I'll be back in a minute and I'll show you what the co-ord set looks like. I'm based in Sydney, but if you can't attend one of my face-to-face workshops, I also run online sessions via Zoom with clients around the world. You get 1 hour one-on-one with me where I give you personalized advice on how to alter or upcycle your chosen garments. So rummage through your wardrobe, even that bag of clothes that you've been meaning to donate, and book an online session with me. Go to secondlifeupcycling.com for info. So here's the co-ord set. I made a pair of pants with pockets and a matching top. I would probably wear this as pajamas, a pajama set, during those in-between seasons, spring and autumn, where it can be a little bit cooler. So again, cotton, easy to sew, going to be lovely to wear. This will soften up a little bit. As I said, I'm pretty sure this might not have been used very frequently because it's still got that new sort of cotton feel to it. You know, it's got a little bit of stiffness. The more I wash this, the softer this will get. And these, both the wrap dress and this co-ord set, will just become beautifully soft. This is so comfortable and cool. and just lovely, lovely to wear. So what I'm going to do is come back and I'm going to show you a few other items that I have used quilt covers to make clothing for instead of buying new fabric. So stay tuned. Another great thing that I'd like to talk about when you're using cotton quilt covers and cotton sheets as an alternative to buying new fabric is being 100% cotton. All my scraps, you know, those little scraps that you've got, the tiny little pieces that you just can't do anything with, they went into my compost bin because they'll break down. My little earthworms will break those down and then they'll return to the earth. They won't go into landfill. But another great thing is that you've got, this is the bottom of the quilt, which has, you know, the buttons. So this already has the buttonholes. It's already really nicely sewn. It's got the other side with the buttons that go down. You can use these as plackets for shirts. So that's another great thing that comes off when you use a quilt cover. All right, so here are some examples of other garments that I've made just using quilt covers. So pair of pants, again, 100% cotton. These I wear all the time. They're super comfy, elastic waist at the back, waistband at the front, but they're so cozy. And I can feel that the cotton has really softened up because I've worn them so many times and washed them many times. Then there's this skirt. So a skirt like this, from memory, I made this such a long time ago, but I'm assuming that the front was maybe a spot and the back was just a plain purple. Then this was a quilt cover that I made into a dress, 100% cotton, beautiful to wear, a beautiful cool summer dress. I didn't even put a zip in the back. I just put a button at the top. It's quite a relaxed fit. I didn't want it to be tight. I love this dress. It's so cool to wear in summer. Then this was a sheet, an old sheet, like old school. And I just made a skirt out of it. Again, 100% cotton, beautiful to wear, soft, cool, really hangs beautifully. I love that, wear that all the time. Why I wanted to show you this was again was a quilt cover. I used the quilt cover as kind of like a test fabric to perfect my design. So this is a dress that I've made replicated many times, but I used this as a test fabric that didn't really mean anything to me. It was going to go into landfill anyhow, and I used this to come up with the design or the pattern, let's say, and adjust it so that it fit me, and then I can just keep replicating it with fabric that I want to use and I don't want to waste. So consider that. You might have an old quilt cover, better than buying fabric new, or more importantly, buying fabric new and then ruining it and you've wasted a lot of money. So think of how you can use old sheets and old quilt covers to use it as test fabric. So I hope that's given you some inspiration to rummage through your linen press, or when you're thrift shopping, look at the quilt and see what you can find there, particularly that 100% cotton, so that you can make beautiful clothes from it, and look beyond the actual it as a quilt cover. You might be able to make pajamas or pants, so I hope that's given you inspiration. Thanks for watching. Thanks so much for watching. And if you'd like me to make more videos like this, please throw me a thumbs up. It really helps and encourages me to create more content like this. Thanks. See you next time.